All right, so this is session 4 of 4. I've done 4 sessions of this Gauntlet League Roadshow. Everything's on the road. Gauntlet League Wrestling, the big promotion, they are on the road. Bleakwood is trying to get new cheap talent. There's all kinds of craziness that's gone on the road. It's nuts. Of course, for this last one, I've got my Worldwide Wrestling shirt on. One of 3 since he had them on sale at one point, and they're super comfortable. Anyway, so we're playing this today. This is we're playing Worldwide Wrestling by Nathan Paoletta. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse game of sports entertainment. So one of the things about this game is that they're playing characters who are playing characters. So there's in front of camera stuff, there's behind camera stuff. It is sports entertainment. It's about the drama. It's about trying to get promoted. It's about trying not to get fired, because essentially character death in this game is getting fired by not having any audience at the end of a session. And that can happen. Poor Harbinger, that happened to last season. But anyway, we're going to go and roll through this. This is part of GauntletCon. It's also part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. So one of the things is that all of the games here use a certain set of safety tools. So we will be using the X card. That's really important with a wrestling game because, of course, wrestling has a long and storied history of really problematic content, racial, sexual, and otherwise. So we're assuming a more enlightened era for our wrestling in some ways. And if we hit content that you find objectionable or problematic, you can either send a note through the chat, or you can do this sign. And it can be problematic content, or it can be if the tone you feel is wrong, can send a note. If you do that, I may stop and ask you to give me some framework so I know what we're editing past, but we're going to try and do that. That's the good part of things. I will give you an example. Last session, the player playing the character Subpig began to go on about how his teeth got knocked out. That was the point at which the GM X-carded the moment and made him stop and move on past that, because that is my phobia right there. Anyway, we're going to get started here. We're going to get characters set up. We're going to build the relationship map. And then we are going to book the show. Let me talk both for the players and for people who might be watching this who are curious about the game. I want to talk about the really big mechanic that goes on in here. We've got our stats, obviously, but we also have some resources. The first resource that's important is momentum. Momentum is a currency that you can spend. You'll accumulate momentum throughout the session. When you do moves, you can get momentum. You can steal it from other people. Anytime you make a roll, you can spend momentum to add a +1 to your roll. You can spend as much as you want. You can do that after you've rolled, once you've seen the results. So that is a pretty awesome. Momentum is great. You want to keep a hold of it. You want to get more. You love momentum. The other important stat is heat. You're going to be building up a heat with the other wrestlers, and it can be from 0 to 4. You want to get that heat up, because if you wrestle somebody that you have heat 4 with, because that's the maximum, then your audience is going to go up by 1. Your audience can be 0 to 4. Your audience is how popular you are in the promotion. If your audience hits 4, and there can only be one person at a time who has audience 4, then you hit that and you get an advance. That's how you get experience. That's how your character gets better. If somebody else hits 4, you drop down to 3, but you still keep your advance. So it's a pretty sweet system. And again, if you end an episode at 0 audience, which can happen, then you will be fired at the end of that show. So I'm going to have everybody do the 1-minute pitch about their characters to introduce them, and then we'll go through the heat map there. So I want to start with Tawni Townsend. Tawni, tell us about your character.
Hey, everybody. Tawni, Lorraine, real name Lorraine, is taking another shot at this gauntlet thing after whatever happened last time in the armory with the marching bands and the smoke and the fire. She's looking to manage someone sane. She knows that this is going to be a great payday for her. She knows she functions better as a heel, but the T-shirt sales are better when she's a face, so that's something she's dealing with.
Awesome. And we'll probably establish who you might be managing in the show during that heat map. All right. The Kraken. Tell us about the Kraken.
The behemoth from below, the Kraken. He is a legit 7-footer, weighs about 400 pounds. Started off as a basketball player, went off to college and blew out a knee, and packed on a few pounds at the same time. And he ended up deciding that he didn't want to give up sport. He wanted to still be out there active, and wrestling seemed the perfect thing. He's been working his way through the indie circuit until finally getting his big shot here with Gauntlet. And he has been on a show once already, and at that time he had pretty good beatdowns go on. I managed to defeat the analyst and had a little slug out with Sub Pig. And currently, he is at 4 audience and is the big fan favorite.
Excellent, excellent. And then let's talk to another fan favorite of a different kind. Let's talk to Spider Hero.
So Spider Hero, by day he's Robbie Reyes, blogger for Gauntlet League Wrestling, and by night he is Spider Hero, who cleans up the streets of whatever city we happen to be in from the evils of malicious wrestlers, bad gimmicks, and worse fashion. He is a blatant ripoff to try and cash in on like comic book movie popularity right now. He's an actor that management brought in, and he's gained, honestly, most of his popularity through having a semi-successful sort of web series that started being shown during commercial breaks at 3 a.m. on the CW. So he's really breaking into it, guys, and he's going to go big.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's hear from the coach.
That's a lap. Coach is a jobber. Basically, creative likes to throw the coach in to be someone to come and critique a wrestler's moves and point out where, you should have stretched that out before and all this stuff. Really, the coach, he knows he's there to get his butt whooped. At the end of the day, they say, you don't tell me what to do, and I'm a great wrestler. I don't need your tips, you lowlife, and then to get my butt handed to me. And you know what? The coach is okay with that because the coach loves wrestling. And you know what? When we're in the locker room, look, man, hey, you really got to be careful out there. You could bust a hammy if you don't know what you're doing. So the coach plays a coach in the ring, but back behind the scenes, he likes to give the young bucks some pointers himself. So that's the coach.
Awesome. I love the idea that on the road you're the person who's kind of keeping an eye and making sure that everything's staying shipshape back there.
Indeed.
All right, and then let's hear about Dead Man Jim.
All right, Dead Man Jim is a new up-and-comer. He's been kind of, on the top of his little league in the small town where they picked him up from, and it's the Halloween season. They needed a gimmick, and his gimmick is he's rising from the dead to give you hell. He's dressed in, he's just in this old Undertaker outfit that his grandfather had left him in the attic. And, his music when he comes out is spooky with smoke and everything. And they drag him in a coffin because that's what everyone loves to see.
Awesome. And a pretty big guy, you said?
Yeah, he's not as tall as the Kraken, but he's like this thin, wiry, like 6'2", 6'3", kind of bony looking. You might suspect he doesn't eat too well. So.
I love it. I love it. And then I think we're going to talk to, last but not least, Outback Thunder.
Can you hear the thunder coming? Outback Thunder. He used to be real big in the Australian wrestling scene, but he's gone to seed since then, and he couldn't compete on that stage anymore. So he's found himself coming to the Gauntlet League overseas and trying to reinvent himself essentially. He's an older fellow, sort of like starting to bald on top. He used to be like really muscled. He used to sort of be like, Arnold Schwarzenegger type muscle, but a lot of that's gone to fat now. So he's not as fit and powerful as he used to be, but he still knows how to do the work. Excellent.
Excellent. And has he been in the States long, or is this a pretty new experience for him?
I think it's probably been only a few months that he's been in the States, and this is like the first gig that he's managed to book here. So I reckon his manager probably pulled in a lot of favors, and this is his last chance.
Probably done a few shows on this road trip. That sounds great. What we're going to do now is we are going to go through the heat map questions. The way this is going to work is a player will look at their heat map questions. They'll ask them. They'll put them out. Anybody can take those up, can say, yeah, that sounds like it's me. In that case, the original player who asked it will write down that they have +1 heat with you. Multiple people can have different heat in different places. We can build up, we can answer multiple questions from one person. That's going to determine how much heat that particular wrestler has with you. At the end, you're also going to get an additional +1 heat for your opposite number. So anybody who's a Technico is going to get +1 heat with anyone who's a heel, and vice versa. So that's the way that's going to work. Adam, I know you've got some extra questions, and I also put some additional ones from other playbooks there at the bottom of the special matches thing.
Awesome.
For the Kraken and Spider Hero who've done some of these questions already.
Nice.
Okay, so let's go ahead and have you ask your heat questions.
Under special matches? I'm looking.
Oh, sorry, under roster summary. Sorry.
Oh, wonderful.
I misspoke.
I'm going to wait. I don't want to answer first this time. If someone else could start.
Sure, we can do that. Kraken, do you mind starting then?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay.
I still think this is one of the better giant ones. Who have I hurt unintentionally?
Ooh. Anybody think that the Kraken has hurt them unintentionally?
Yeah. Okay.
Outback Thunder. What happened?
I think Kraken overestimated how in shape I still was, and I don't know if it was necessarily on stage or if it was during a practice or something. But yeah, I think sort of like we missed a particular move or something, and I ended up like headbutting one of the are they called bollards or something like that?
The
one
turnbuckle?
of the things on the side of the ring. Yeah. So yeah, the turnbuckle. Instead of like hitting the nice padded bit, I actually hit the metal pole behind it and got a nice cut above my eyebrow.
Nasty. Love it. Kraken, your next question.
All righty. Who tries the hardest to avoid working with me?
I think Deadman Jim is going to try to avoid working with you, actually. I think just because you're actually taller than him, you kind of overshadow him, and he's trying to stand out from the field.
Nice.
That's a great detail. I love it.
Cool. All right. How many am I doing, Lowell?
You'll do 4 total.
Okay. Let's do one of the nice new ones. Who have I approached about improving my ring work? Because that is something I'm really trying to do.
Ooh, pick the coach. Pick me.
Great.
Excellent. And let me punch up coach there. And finally, who's jealous of my rapid rise?
Ooh.
Since it's clearly off of God-given rather than actual wrestling ability.
I think I am. Like, I've heard whispers backstage about like trying out that web series success with someone else, and you're just like really visually catching, and the Kraken, like you're almost horning in on my super territory. I'm not happy with how much you've hit here recently.
Mm-hmm. They got some big After Effects package they've got ready for the web series, the credits there. That's great. All right. Well, and that brings us then to your heat questions, Spider Hero.
All right. Who wants to unmask me, literally or figuratively?
Ooh.
I do.
Mm.
You have the El Generico Sami Zayn thing where I think you're just so tremendously handsome that the rip-off Spider-Man gimmick is holding you back, and we could just sell you as a model or something.
Oh, that's great.
All right. And honestly, that might be something you could like sway Spider Hero to believe as well. Robbie is not used to acting with a mask on. Who's just biding their time until my inevitable fall?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dead Man Jim. Like, everyone loves horror and, everything, but superheroes, they're passe. They'll come and go as soon as everyone's had their fill of whatever the new movie is. I mean, how many times have they remade Superman at this point? Come on.
Awesome.
All right.
Jim has a strong sense of his gimmick.
Then where the hell are we? Roster summary. There we are. Oh, we got a lot of new people who can't remember who I am. And it could be Spider Hero or Robbie, the blogger.
I think it's me. I think it's partially that the gimmick I can't quite understand. I get confused when I see Robbie and I see Spider Hero. It goes well above my brain level. The whole thing.
Do you maybe like have to get bleeped a lot for saying Spider-Man on camera?
Yeah, I mean I get that all the time.
Everyone thinks he's calling him something really offensive, but he's just saying something copyrighted.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then who is my best buddy backstage?
Oh, well, I guess
I'll be your best buddy.
Thunder's
All
your best
right.
buddy. Oh, the coach wants to be your best buddy, but he's just not.
Draw number 2.
Best buddy.
Arachnaman.
Nice.
Why didn't you just use pictures from Arachnaman from WCW? They also made him purple and green, I think.
Oh, nice.
He's actually gone through several generic costume variations, which have all been awesome.
Yeah, my costume tends to get destroyed.
So does Peter Parker's.
It's true.
Coach, let's get your questions.
Absolutely. Who was my tag team partner before they made it big?
I'll take that. Because like I started out really not very good at the actual wrestling. I've gotten mildly better, but yeah, I think you were like early on trying to show me the ropes of actually doing this stuff.
Oh, now I've been left behind. Who can't remember who I am?
Yeah, who are you again?
Outback Thunder hasn't met everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're all new to me.
Can't
Okay.
remember.
So that's Outback Thunder then?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who refuses to work with me?
That's me. The gimmick similarity is so big that it's just like.
Got it. Got it. And who is always trying to get management on my side?
Oh, in the backstage, I'm the suck up. I want you to notice me and love me so you can help me become bigger and better.
Okay. Got it. There we go.
Excellent. And then Outback Thunder, let's hear your heat questions.
Sure thing. First one is, who am I keeping out of the spotlight? And this might be more in a sort of like holding them back sense than sort of like outshining them. But
Okay.
yeah, who am I keeping out of the spotlight? You've all got a lot of spotlight. Yeah, that's cool. If no one's got for that one.
What we can do is we can assign a non-player wrestler to that.
Yeah.
You're a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me pull up the roster summary and let's give you a good face that you can stomp on. Let's see.
I'm always being kept out of the spotlight, so I can't blame it on you personally.
Well, I could just be the new reason. That's sort of like, well, it's my fault, but I'm going to blame someone else for it.
You guys want to do that con?
Yeah, I'll say it's
We got a vacuum in the roster. The coach's chance to be the real wrestlers here. Oh wait,
now this new guy's come in.
Get this new
from
guy.
Australia. Oh my gosh.
I like it. Yep, cool. All right, so I'm at 2 heat with the coach now. My next question is, who is my protege? Who have I taken under my wing?
me. I want to be an actual good grappler, and you're better at that than I am. By a lot.
Nice. Yeah, sure. Cool. And let's see, who is undercutting me?
I feel like I should take that just because all my other responses were is like, yeah, I'm trying to like be better than them. I'm trying to get more audience. I'm trying to. So I think I'm just like kind of desperately wanting to be a big star, but going about it the entirely wrong way.
Welcome to Gauntlet, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. And last one I have here, who has no respect for all the work I've put into this company? All 2 months of it.
And that can be a previous person or a new person?
Yeah. Kraken, do you not respect me showing up and thinking that, you know, sort of like I'm the old guy?
Didn't I take it? Didn't you? Aren't you kind of helping me out though?
Oh, maybe I am. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were doing a lot of training.
I'm learning from you. Yeah.
Cool.
Or you know, I admire what you do. So just doesn't sound like me.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, in the interest of kicking heat up all the way, maybe not only is the coach resentful that you're taking the spotlight from him, but also, you know, I don't think you're really bringing anything to the roster anyway.
Ooh.
That's
Cool.
just
I
my
love it. Yeah.
professional opinion.
I like it. Yeah.
Is that all 4?
That's all 4.
Awesome. Tawni, let's swing back to you.
Sure. I think I'm going to manage the dead man.
Okay. Are you good with that, Dead Man Jim?
Sure, I don't know what that means, so you're gonna have to educate me.
Cool. I represent you. You get bonuses to cutting promos when I'm around. And if I go back in my old ways, I'm going to help you cheat to win.
Nice.
But right now, I'm going to encourage you. I'm playing good Tawni, which I thought was going to be like, you know, poodle skirt, but I think now it's just going to be like very chic funeral attire.
Nice.
It'll probably look like a Panic at the Disco video a little bit.
Look, you could do the poodle skirt and just walk into my boyfriend's back or something.
They specifically sued me over that one. Second question.
All right.
Who is trying to Oh, no, I get to ask that. Who do I manage a company to the ring? I don't get to decide who wants it. Does anyone else want it more than Dead Man Jim?
I will fight you.
That's the right attitude.
Perfect.
Who's trying to undermine me backstage?
I think that's Kraken. You turned on me before I even made it to the ring last time you were my manager.
That was going to say the next question was who turned on me when I was their manager?
Well, we've got two then right there.
So
yeah, I'll take both.
I'm going to say it's someone else trying to undermine me backstage besides Kraken.
Yeah, we're
going to definitely give him a tie.
Oh, that Tawni's sweet as apple pie. I don't think she would do anything horrible to anybody. Seems like a class act.
Keep assuming that, despite how I act. I'll ask. I'll go to the roster summary one for some new question. Who is my best buddy backstage?
I'll go with that. Robbie is definitely susceptible to flattery.
Nice. And who wants to make me quit? All right. How about who have I approached about? Oh, this is a good one. Who has taken it upon themselves to teach me a lesson in the ring?
Yeah, I'll go that one.
Nice. Thanks, new guy.
Despite her helping
three
you.
boxes and 2 wrestlers gunning for me. This is gonna be good.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So here is what's going to happen now that we've got all that. Don't forget to add +1 heat for your opposite number.
Do I need to ask my questions?
Oh my gosh. Did I skip over you, Dead Man Jim?
Yep.
I did. What a terrible GM I am.
He's back.
Creative is what's called creative here. So I'm a terrible creative. Jim, give us your questions.
How could you do this to me, Lowell? How could you?
No. What? Jeez.
You broke my dead heart.
Cold, dead heart.
All right. Who is terrified of me backstage, whether it's deserved or not?
Ooh.
I think I am. I think you put on at least a really good act of like going after everyone and gonna take them down sort of thing, and like I don't feel confident enough in the ring to stop someone from hurting me.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten like that entire like, hey, this is backstage versus this is what we put on for the folks.
I like it.
So the spider here. All right. Who is helping me come up with new direction? I feel like we kind of already got an answer on this.
Yeah, I got you back, darling. This is going to be fantastic. No political stuff. You have to sign here the manager contract that says you won't embarrass me online.
All right. Now, who here has made me look weak?
Ooh.
I think that's probably me.
I'd be really excited if it was Coach.
Well, I think it's probably me. I think we probably had some like a match or two over the years in the indie circuit where despite me trying to help, you still couldn't quite manage to do the lift and slam.
Oh, yeah. I got to slam you at some point now.
Yep.
All right. And finally, who can stand up to me in the ring?
Yeah, I'll go for that. I reckon I can stand up to you in the ring. If you stop undercutting me backstage, that is.
Great. Now we have 24 relationships to each other.
Yes. Great. Okay, so we'll do that and that. All right, so here's what's going to happen now. Now that Lowell has reversed his previous screw-up, I meant to do that. It was just a swerve. Okay, I had it planned that way all along. There's a chance to do that. So we're going to take 5, take a break while I book the show. When we come back, we're going to set up where we're wrestling. We're going to do our sort of video packages, and then we're going to hit those matches. So take 5, come back.
Anyone that's here, how do I, now that I've clicked on one of the people's faces down below, how do I get it to just cycle through people again?
Click on them again.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a face manager who wasn't Captain Lou Albano or Shawn Michaels' coach. And it's just not a face thing. I can think of face monsters like, I don't know, Ryback or like Cage. Or, sorry, his real name is, they call him Cage. What was your gimmick in Australia? Because it wasn't I'm from Australia, right?
No. I think it was sort of that he was probably the hardcore in Australia, I reckon.
Nice.
Always speaking truth to power and just sort of like, oh no, that's the anti-hero. So the hardcore is just
fine.
the person who's...
You're playing something different in America.
Yeah.
Or you're now a veteran. That's not you anymore.
Yeah.
I had a character. My first character was what's the comedy guy called in this game? I don't know. The clown. His name was Outback Liam.
Nice.
He was a New Zealander pretending to be Australian. And he was a black guy. He drove down to a ring with a safari jeep because he was returning after doing a stint on a soap opera in New Zealand.
Nice.
And he challenged people to his signature match, which was the Australian Outback match, which is a hardcore match with the set declaration, no rules, just right.
Nice.
I think I got suplexed from the top rope through the engine block of the Jeep, which did not go well at all. I think that game also an athlete whose guy was a guy from the Yankees who got banned for steroids, and he was the heelest heel who ever healed. We had a show in Boston, and he came down to the ring wearing a Yankees uniform-inspired outfit and gave someone a hat that said performance-enhancing drugs on it. His hands covered in Yankees championship rings. It was amazing. Also, somehow I hit him with his explosive bat that was filled with sparklers, and it did not do any damage to him, which was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, back. Refilled the drink.
Nice.
All right. So, any pointers since I have not played this game before?
No worries. Have you played Powered by the Apocalypse stuff before?
Oh yeah, I was actually part of the original Gauntlet group over in Houston with Jason and all of them. So.
Fuck yeah. So the difference here, it's still when you trigger the move.
Mm-hmm.
The difference thing is the matches are more free form and back and forth. You have much more control over the other PC than you normally would.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it turns into a fighting game where you're like, I do this, I do this, I do this. One thing that's really helpful is just thinking about what the audience is seeing during the match and how you kick the other person's ass and how they kick your ass and what you're focusing on, whether it's taking away the breath or not letting them move or going after a limb, and letting that guide the fiction of the match. And then you throw on the other obstacles. Oh, and since I'm your manager, feel free to throw control over to me a few times in the match, because otherwise I have to spend all my momentum doing things.
Okay. So it'll just be like, I remember back to what Tawni told me I needed to do in order to look good on this match.
It's more like, okay, so I'm on the mat. The other guy's on the mat. Tawni, what are you doing?
Okay.
So I can work the crowd or help you out or try and stop the bad guy from cheating. I guess that's what good face managers do.
And I'm back. I'm just standing because this weekend is killing my skeleton.
Got to keep yourself healthy for the skeleton war.
Yes, for the coming skeleton wars.
Posture is the battlefield of the skeleton war.
In the grim dark future, there's only postured skeletons.
Awesome.
So part of this game, from what I remember reading, is if you're not in the match, you're basically part of the announcer/audience.
One or two people who aren't in the match can be at the announcer's table.
Okay.
And they can either play themselves doing commentary, or they can play a commentator they make up. And what they can do during the match is they can put somebody over once per thing. They can go, oh, it's like, let's say somebody botched. They could say, oh, well, actually, it looks like this. And then they boost it up one result level. So they make it like a 7 to 9.
Okay. So something like, oh, yeah, he always looks like he's going to fail a powerbomb, but that's actually him setting up for his stunning move.
What a counter.
Exactly.
He didn't get all of it.
You can also do run-in if you're backstage, which is a chance to come from back there and interfere in the match.
Yeah. You can describe yourself coming in to watch. You can say, hey, I want to say that my character is here. Feel free to do that. Or, yeah, the run-in move is where you come in. One of the things that is going to happen in terms of the back and forth is someone will have control of the match. And they are sort of in charge. They're narrating what's going on. And we narrate, they kind of describe it until we get to a high point. And that's when we go to the move. And we'll kind of figure out what we need to roll for that. Okay. But at any point, somebody can spend momentum to go, I'm going to interrupt and take control. So momentum isn't just a boost for rolls. It's also used to seize control. So that's the other reason that currency is super cool. All right. Well, I have figured out the booking for this show. So we are going to figure out some things. Adam?
Right here. I'm going to be pacing around for my posture as well.
What city are we in?
We are in St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. And Tyler, what kind of venue do we have? We're back in St. Louis. Got the Arch there, great Midwestern town. What is the venue like?
I think we've moved up a little bit in the world. I think we're at the actual Civic Auditorium.
Ooh.
It seats a good solid 5,000 or 6,000.
Ooh. So right now, this whole Gauntlet League Roadshow has kind of been threadbare, but they're getting towards the end, so they've dropped some money to get this. And that's pretty sweet. They got the Civic Auditorium. It's actually got lighting. It's actually got a framework and rafters that Spider Hero can come down out of.
What?
It means they've actually brought the Gauntlet cage with them in case any of that is wanted. They've got the Jumbotron. It's pretty sweetly set up. Patrick, though, what's one problem with the venue right now?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a problem. Instead, more of a sort of opportunity to really up our game in this show. But, there is the Lady Gaga concert tomorrow, and they've been assembling the stage all week, and they weren't going to just, take down everything just for us. So there's some weirdness to the props.
Okay.
One vital question. What tour is this for Lady Gaga?
The most recent one.
What's the theme of her stage? I mean, what kind of things are we dealing with here?
Diamante.
I think that is up to the imagination. Okay, so you got that stage is partially set up. They've kind of tried to booth it off, but there are all these props around, and of course, you don't know if you're ever coming back to the Civic Center, so grabbing a few of those things might be kind of nice to auction off on eBay later. Just saying. And Coach, what's the backstage locker room like for this show?
So the Civic Center, it's more of like dressing rooms, I think, than locker rooms. They weren't really prepared for that. However, they only were able to book us 2 dressing rooms for all of our wrestlers, so we're kind of a little bit cramped. I don't know who's in which room, how the politics have designed who who sits at which table, so to speak. But that's all we got.
Okay, kind of jammed in back there. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think mass wise, like we've got one for the Kraken and one for everyone else.
Yes.
This actually gives me an idea. We'll wait till the end of the description here, but then I'm going to do something in my client's interest.
Okay. And then Dead Man Jim, what is the thing that you've walked around the arena, you've looked around, what is the thing that you think is pretty cool about this place?
Oh man, like I've never been in an arena this big, and what is just blowing my mind, and this is probably because they have the Lady Gaga concert here. It looks like they have a thing they have a lift that they can lower down from the ceiling that can take you all the way up into the rafters and back.
Ooh.
So. And it's not like a slow lift. This is like a, it's pretty zippy going up and down. So you could like get the drop on someone.
Ooh,
nice. Like her thing at the Super Bowl.
And let me finally ask Outback Thunder. Once the crowd starts coming in, what's the crowd like? Are they into it? Are they a smaller crowd? Are they, educated on wrestling, or are they just kind of are they believing the reality? What's the deal with this crowd?
I think this crowd's rowdy and rough. They're I don't know if they're like proper wrestling fans or they're just here to see some blood. I think they want it to get a little bit too violent, and they're sort of like the throwing empty cans kind of crowd.
So we'll say, when Bleakwood saw the numbers coming in for the box office the last couple of weeks, he ended up sending like a good 1,000 tickets out to various radio stations, hard rock and metal radio stations, to give away tickets. And there are lots and lots of people who've just gotten these free tickets. And there's cheap beer on the premises. So that's the crowd is way more raucous than you would expect. They're already doing the chants before everything starts. Adam, you were going to do something in client's interest, and then I'm going to check in with the Kraken to do his over move.
Absolutely. You know that there's a few dressing rooms, but you know what isn't being used right now? The green room. I'm going to see if I can get my client the green room so he has space to prepare for his match.
Ooh.
And I get to roll plus my look.
Yeah.
I'm being loyal. That is an 8, plus my look of 2 is a 10.
10. What does that get you?
I get, I succeed on what I'm trying to do. I gain a momentum, and I'm going to gain a heat with my client because he's probably wants to work with me a lot more now after I get him all the,
Dead Man Jim.
Shrimp dinner that was being prepared. All the nice
green room. This is nice. What's the best thing about this green room, Jim?
The best thing about this green room is it has its own shower.
Ooh.
Nice.
Real nice. A little bit of food, got a shower. It's awesome. Got some space. It's probably got the closed feed for the video there, so you can watch in comfort back here.
Oh yeah,
nice.
It's got the nice fluffy towels. Like they were expecting Lady Gaga to come in and start showering here for some strange reason, but they've got really nice towels. I may steal one of these.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They are not going to be here when you leave.
I can imagine a scene with Dead Man Jim in like just a really fluffy like bathrobe, who's just like sitting on this couch with his feet up, and the camera's coming in and asking him about one of his matches or something like that.
Just trying to hold the door, be like, he's not ready. He's not ready.
Nice.
Why would you have bath bombs for a shower?
Kraken, you get to roll that over move.
Alrighty. Oh, it'd be nice if this went well. Okay. Did they actually switch?
Which ones? The green ones?
I did those down at the bottom, underneath my name. Am I in the right room?
Closely Wealthy Grub.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's well. Then
Yeah.
apparently they stayed the same. Okay. Well, that's a 7. Plus, I'm rolling my look. Takes it to an 8.
Okay, so that gets us to the 7 to 9 result on that, which means you can choose whether you add or replace a promotion tag, and then you can pick one of those results there.
I think I'm gonna take the momentum.
Okay,
Do we have the tags on this one?
I didn't put the tags on this because I forgot to, but he takes the momentum, and that's a smart move there.
Gonna calm down in front of these bloodthirsty fans.
Yeah. So it's a kind of a raucous, angry crowd. One of the things that you would have realized when you kind of got set up, when you came off the road, kind of exhausted, is that the normal guy who's backstage, been on the backstage the whole time, the sort of general manager on the ground, Wolf Backhouse, is not here. And what you're hearing is that apparently the blow up at the last show, Bleakwood called him back to Gauntlet City, and like he's gotten pulled on the table. So the guy who's on stage, who's sort of handling things, you will recognize him as the Executioner, the Terminator knockoff guy. He's not in that outfit, but he's an old vet, old hand of Gauntlet League Wrestling. They've called him in to try and keep the circus aligned. Everybody just calls him Terminator, but they don't do that on camera. So that's the most important thing. But he's been going around and checking in on stuff, and they've got probably a couple of smaller matches to start it off. They start out with Rattler Queen and Serious Business, kind of a two-person women's match. They get that out there on the table, get the crowd set. And then once more, they put Stan, the Percolator Steiger. He used to be the belt champ. And they put him out there against a couple of clowns. He has clearly irritated somebody in the upper echelons, because once more they knock him down. He is dragged around like a fool. And then we're going to move to kind of a big match, and you'll get the word, Coach. You and Spider Hero are going to tag team, and you're not sure exactly who your opponents are until there's some talk and stuff, and you will see the Wallaby is a kind of midget character who was this, a kind of a stunt sidekick for the Dingo, but since the Dingo left, the Wallaby, no one's sure what he's going to do. It didn't really work well with Skunk Ape. So you see the Wallaby's out, and they've darkened his fur, and they've kind of put some more fangs on him, and they've clearly tried to make him look more dangerous. And you will hear that it's going to be the Kraken and Dark Wallaby against the Coach and Spider Hero. Tag team match to kind of get things set. They want to try out this new gimmick on the road before they take it into the main stadium. So that's what it's going to be. But let's get on the video package here. We're going to have, they're going to pop up on the Gauntletron. They're going to show highlights from each of you. They're going to show either a video package or a behind the scenes thing. So the Kraken. They would have asked you to make some alterations to your video package. So before the whole event starts, what do we see on the Gauntletron?
Well, let's see. I suppose I am a less controversial Gauntlet or Kraken. I will. We're still going to have the thunder and the lightning and the rumble of it all as we see Kraken just sort of rise up and just keep going, and the camera has to tilt up. And you see that just perched right on his shoulder, looking tiny, is little Dark Wallaby.
Desperately clinging on. Awesome.
I have been... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have been told that there is a hero here. No hero can stand against the might of the behemoth from below. And Wallaby goes back over my shoulder, and I lift up, and there's the thunderclap.
Awesome. So I think we're going to be cutting straight to promos here. Then we'll do the video package for everybody else after this particular event. So I think you are definitely cutting a promo. Let's have you roll with your look.
Alrighty. 10, 11.
Ooh, look at that. So that is an awesome result. We look at the basic moves and we look at cut a promo. And on a 10 plus, you really connect with the audience. You get another momentum. And what do you want as your pick from the 7 to 9 list?
Let's see. Cut the promo. I want to pick up the heat with Spider Hero.
Okay. And with that in mind, let's cut to Spider Hero. They're kind of pushing things fast. What is your promo here? We're backstage. Is it an interview? Is it a video thing? What do we see from you?
So I think it's a video package because like I've seen the Kraken coming, and I can just sense where they're going to go with him. So I was actually prepared for this matchup here. So it's this video package of me like in a training ring, like training with the coach, who's I think there he's got his whistle, he's got the gym shorts, he's screaming and like waving his clipboard around at me, and it switches back and forth between shots of me practicing against a like full-size dressed up dummy of the Kraken and a full-size dressed up dummy of the Wallaby. And so there'll be a shot of me like coming in at the Kraken dummy with like kicks and spins and a big punch up to the head. It's like, ow, oh God. The dummy is like bolted to the floor and doesn't move. And then like there's just a shot of the Wallaby dummy in the middle of the ring, and Spider Hero like comes running in at it, and then just at the last minute does like sort of a skip on his feet, turns back to the coach. He's like, I'm really uncomfortable. Is this all right? I don't know if this is the right thing. And then it's back to the Kraken, and he's like up on his shoulders with his feet on the chest of the dummy, like just trying to budge it. And then it's back to the Wallaby, and he's coming in with like a spinning kick at him, and he like fumbles it and falls to the ground. He's like, I really, seriously, I don't know if this is, there are going to be cameras there. And it's just a couple of those back and forth until finally the last one with the Wallaby coach, I think, really like he is on him. He is red-faced and yelling. He's waving the clipboard around, and he just and he takes a deep breath and he dives at the Wallaby dummy, and the two of them just go like tumbling off camera and out of the ring.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll with look.
Do roll. 9, 10, 11.
Oh, look at that. You are hot as well. A momentum, and you get to pick one from the list.
Nice. Let's add a stipulation to the match.
What is the stipulation for this tag team match?
Well, you know, they brought the cage, which obviously, like, this has got to be a new cage because the old cage, wow, it done busted apart.
Yeah.
But I've gotten people to take the sort of remains of the old cage and sort of remake it. And so as we enter the ring and we get started, it's going to be a center of the web match where like this framework cage comes down, and there's like these really thick bungee cords and all sorts of like trapeze rigs, and sort of turns it into a 360 bouncy environment.
Perfect. That sounds great. Coach, the camera will cut to you. Is it an interview backstage, or is it a video package, or are you out watching? What do we see from you?
So Coach is a little bit of an oblivious individual and doesn't really know that this crowd is this bloodthirsty killer crowd. The coach is at Southwest St. Louis Middle School. He's in the in the gym with the Fighting Wildcats wrestling team. And he's like, blowing the whistle and teaching them how to wrestle. He's down on the mats with them and showing, this is how you do a submission hold. And he kind of steps up and he says to the camera, like, I know St. Louis knows wrestling because these Wildcats are raring to go. So excited to get in the ring with y'all and show you a couple things from Gauntlet Roadshow, some tricks I picked up on the road. And my Wildcats are going to be there cheering us on.
Awesome. So just to tell you what Michael has just done is once per show, you can get cheap heat by calling out the city that you're in, and you get a momentum for that. You don't have to roll, and it substitutes for that. So yeah, you'll get your cheap heat, Coach. You get another momentum.
And in the background, like Spider Heroes wandered in, like trying to find me for our promo, and all the kids like get up and run to get autographs. And I'm still talking to the camera, like, and we're not, I'm teaming up with Spider Hero, and there's no way we're going to be defeated by no 2-bit. And the camera just kind of pans away from me.
Awesome, yeah. Awesome. Now, for Outback and Deadman, we're going to start the match, and you can feel free to jump in as commentary on that. Same for you, Adam. I don't know how you want to do that with your manager role, but we'll figure that out.
I think Tawni's going to wait until her character's revealed, but I think there's someone who always loves to do commentary for us, and it's me, the Governor Jesse Ventura. So.
He's a cheap buy these days, so St. Louis can get him.
I was in town hunting down a mystery, McMahon.
All right.
To a portal.
All right. So, with that in mind, let's start with the coach. You're the first person to come in. Your promo ends. Tell me what the coach's entrance looks like when you come down. What's the music that hits? What does it look like?
So before the music starts, you just hear a really, really loud whistle, like.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit too loud. And then some just 70s rock and roll starts playing, like nothing really too exciting or whatever. Coach starts swaggering in. He's got the long socks and the really too short shorts. He's like, waving at everybody, like having a big smile, taking all the booze just right on the shoulder, like no big deal.
Plastic cups flying already.
He's just like, oh yeah, you. Yeah. Good luck. Keep it up.
Okay, you get up to the ring. Spider Hero, we got this, and this is Coach. Probably the first time you've seen that. This is the wackiest cage match you've ever seen. This big Hell in a Cell wide, cage, and then it's got all this other stuff dangling from it.
Oh well, don't worry. I always thought you could teach an old dog new tricks. No worry.
Spider Hero, what's your entrance?
So I think the music shifts over and it's a like 3 notes are different, obvious ripoff of like the Spider-Man movie themes in this big sweeping orchestral thing. And the Gauntletron sort of flashes his logo by, and he's gonna come sliding down on the rope that sort of lowered the cage down around the ring from the rafters. And I think like he was getting into place and there was sort of an accident and he just decided to run with it. So his costume is covered in just wild colors of the glitter, which he now has a handful of that he sort of like sprays out along the webs as he lands down on top of the cage, and it sort of like bounces all of the things. They sort of come down in a shower as he lands in the ring next to the coach.
Got all the Gaga industrial vat of it that you popped open in the back.
Yeah, I think like he was up there getting ready and just like stumbled into it. He's like, "Oh fuck, what am I gonna do?" And then just decided to run with it.
We give a little hand clasp and I say, "Just like old times, eh, Spider Hero?"
Oh, it's a little sparklier, but let's get him.
And then we cut to the Kraken's entrance.
We have Dark Wallaby come out, and he's starting down, and behind him we've got two stagehands who brought out a rather small replica of the arch. And just as the clutches release the Kraken, hits its big release the Kraken, out comes the Kraken and just stomps on top of the arch. And hopefully get a little cheap heat on that.
Oh yeah, you will take the cheap heat. The crowd do not like their city symbol trodden on underfoot there. You probably one shot cutting to Tawni going.
No, I think that's acceptable.
That's acceptable, not too political. Good.
Right, I was offended by that. If they had really knocked over the arch, that would be offensive, but that's fun.
Spider Hero, on the other hand, has like the surprised spider eyes. He is shocked and appalled. He's up on the side of the webbing, like shaking his fist and yelling and trying to get the crowd to like get him as he's coming down.
Boo, boo.
Kraken's
of course, they're scared to throw stuff at the Kraken. So there are fewer cups getting thrown that way, less beer over there.
He's so water and blue and the stream lights going as he comes stomping in. And probably I don't have an idea of what the hell that cage is supposed to be.
Yeah, Wallaby kind of stops. He's like been excited, kind of jumping around, be dark, and then he's like, "Oh wait, he didn't sign up for a cage. Not sure when that got into the thing." And let me ask you this, Kraken: who from your side is going to start as the legal wrestler? Is it you or Dark Wallaby?
It's probably got to be Dark Wallaby.
So you pick him up and put him into the ring?
Lift him up. One-handed. Just lift him up in.
Yeah. Maybe looks a little reluctant. Spider Hero coach, who is the legal wrestler starting into the ring here? Who is going to be first in?
So the cool thing about the coach is that even though he's a jobber, he's not a jobber for these like no-name Dark Wallaby type folks. He's allowed to get a win in on them. So I think Coach is going to face up against Dark Wallaby and teach him a thing or two.
All right. So Wallaby will get in the ring. Coach gets in the ring. Now, for everybody here, tag team works a little bit different than your standard wrestling move. We do standard wrestling stuff, but you can go and tag in your partner. And that is a hot tag move that's under special matches. There's a role that comes there. And there's also a move in case somebody decides, nope, I want to leave you hanging. There's a role for that.
Although it's going to be hard to abandon your partner in a cage. So a little forethought would be helpful here.
All right. So Coach, Dark Wallaby is kind of standing at the ropes, kind of like talking to Kraken like, I didn't sign up for the cage, kind of got his back to you. Tell me, you've controlled this match to start. Tell me what happens.
So the coach takes a muscled old hairy arm and just wraps around the Wallaby's chest and rips him into the ring.
Just kind of if you're against the ropes.
If you aren't on time, you're late. If you aren't early, you're late. There we go. Get it on in here.
So you kind of just kind of throw them around doing illustrating your gimmick there.
Yep.
Okay, so let's have you roll with look.
Oh, okay. One thing about the coach is he ain't much of a looker.
He's trying to show off who you are, his whole coach thing. Let's see how that lands.
Making him do push-ups in front of you.
Yeah. I will be color. Is there a purple out there? I think I'll be purple. Oh, there is a purple. Orange. Ooh, an 11.
Nice.
Never underestimate the coach, McMahon, especially if you're a government experiment.
So you do well. You can either take 2 momentum, or you can take an additional heat with Dark Wallaby.
I'll take momentum. You said additional 2?
Additional 2, and you still have control of the match.
Yeah, I will take momentum.
So you've tossed Wallaby against the ropes. You've taunted him with your coaching stuff. You can probably hit him against the cage. Wallaby's grabbed onto some of the bungee cords as you're pulling him back. There's that twang as he has to let go of those. What happens next, Coach? What's the next part of this match?
I think I just want the coach to really show off his moves and take Wallaby out, put him in a position where he's got to tap out or tag out. So coach is gonna say, "All right, it's time to teach you some fundamentals here, Dark Wallaby," and he kind of pulls off a really classic wrestling move, to sort of get him into a submission hold.
Move him down, do that lock in. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have you roll with work.
Okay.
Doesn't take much to get Wallaby down and then get that leg up and twist the arm.
I really want to get him to a place where he can tag out. That's what I'm hoping to see.
Okay.
Ooh, 5 + 1, still a 6.
So Wallaby actually, when you go to do that, he is a slippery little weasel. Okay. You realize that to get his fur this color, they probably just use shoe polish and stuff, and he is really slick. And so he slides out from you. You actually lose a momentum.
Okay. And
Dark Wallaby runs for the corner and runs and leaps over to tap Kraken in. And Kraken, you're tagged in. Coach is kind of laying there in the middle. Wallaby's tagged you in. What do you want to do? You have control of the match, Kraken.
I will step over the top rope, lumber in. Move over there, get him by the hair. Imagine the crowd is starting to cheer a bit. I'll do big headbutt.
Oh.
Don't let him fall. Big headbutt. Won't let him fall. Go for that next headbutt. And I think he actually manages to move to the side and get out of my grip. So I sort of stumble past him. And Coach, being a pretty good technical wrestler, he's smart. So he starts going after the knee. He starts going into those legs, try and wear me down. It's the only thing he can do. And I'm stumbling around a little bit until I move back up against the turnbuckle. And he's going to hop up. And he's going to start giving the 1, 2 punches into the forehead. About the time he gets to 5, though, Kraken wraps around him, comes out towards the middle of the ring, and does this actual lift, kind of throws his legs up and his body up so that he can get his shoulder underneath him and do a massive backdrop off of a toss in the air.
Wow. So do you think this is more intended to be like a good power hit, or are you just trying to show off your strength?
I think I'm trying just to show off my strength there. That sounds like a feat of strength.
All right. Let's have you roll feat of strength.
All
Coach,
right.
don't forget you can always interrupt.
I'm taking it for now.
Okay.
That is a 13.
So
My God, man, the strength on that creature. I know one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, and this is coming from a Praxis master of the universe.
So you gain either 2 momentum or +1 heat with the coach, Kraken.
I'm going to grab +1 heat with the coach because I also have triggered by give them what they want, which gained me a momentum when I hit a power move at 7 or better.
Nice. So he kind of lands, and you kind of probably turn to, get the audience's adulation there. So you've done that feat of strength, Coach. Coach, you have control. You have desperate control here. What do you want to do?
Coach is lying there, beaten and broken, and he reaches an arm out through the cage, but he's not reaching his arm out to Spider Hero. He's saying, "Come on, Wildcats! I need you."
Want to work the crowd?
What I want to do, and tell me if this is possible.
Sure.
I want to bring in the Southwest St. Louis Middle School Wrestling Wildcats and I want 5 of them to come and pin down the Kraken.
Ooh.
They have to get through the cage.
Yeah, they have to get through the cage to do that.
Have you given actual middle schoolers access to the cage key?
Can they they're small. Can they fit in? Is there the webbing? Can they?
Yeah, the walls are like bungee cords and stuff webbed around.
Here's what I'm going to say that'll be read as. I think that's going to read as a work to audience because they'll get these middle schoolers out of there, the refs and stuff, but you're trying to generate excitement from the crowd through this craziness. Does that sound okay, Coach?
Maybe just enough for me to get in a good blow and then get the middle schoolers out of there?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So in that case,
I don't want any kids being hurt.
Sure. I think you're going to now – I think that this is you kind of doing a crazy sequence here. I'm going to have you roll your heat with Kraken.
Okay. Heat with Kraken. I
have set up this craziness.
One with him.
Haven't cleared it with the back office.
It works in a way because Kraken's actually a really nice guy, and he would not try to hurt these kids.
Good. That's a 9.
It's a 9. Now, do you have momentum?
I do. I have 2 momentum.
You could spend 1, and you would get back 2, or you could increase your heat by 1 when you did that. Look at that. You're losing money not doing it.
Man, do I want to make the Kraken look like a real monster here by shaking off these children, or do I want to really? I want this. The Wildcats need a win. They're not looking too good on the tournament length there. So I'm going to spend a momentum.
Okay, and when you do that, do you want 2 momentum, or do you want to increase that heat?
I'll just take more momentum, so I'll just swing it right back to 3 from 2.
Okay. So here's the thing: you clear the Wildcats. The Kraken is clearly thrown by that, and somehow, despite all odds, you still have control of the match.
I'll say thanks for your help, Wildcats, and they can all scurry off.
Coach.
It's been a long time since I've heard people cheering my name, but the coach got his good blow in, and then he's feeling confident. He goes in for another good grapple when he realizes nothing's happening. He's just punching and chopping, and there's no response from the Kraken until his head looks up, and he's clearly not amused.
Do you want to go and tag in, or you want to try and demonstrate your abilities here against the Kraken? What do you want?
I'm just kind of passing it off. I don't know what that looks like.
Sure, you can hand
control you into your corner.
If you want to pass off that.
Yeah, so you can just hand control over to Kraken. Kind of do that when you realize that he is so much larger than you. So much.
So yeah, I'll do the Hulk pump up. As you hit me, I start rising up. Then I'm gonna grab you right around the neck, lift you, and just throw you back into the turnbuckle where Spider Hero is.
Yes, and I'm just
point at the 2 of you.
I think the audience gets real rowdy at this too. This is the sort of violence that they came here for, and there's cups flying everywhere, and just people getting trying to jump over the things and having to get pushed back by security.
Yeah, I think the coach even brought a little blood capsule with him, so he kind of takes a chance to bite down on that and spit out a little blood. And, he's just kind of holding on to this turnbuckle and holds out a hand to Spider Hero, saying, we trained for this.
Okay, let's have you roll your heat with Spider Hero, because that's how you tag in. And as Outback said, the people have seen the kids come in. They're like, well, I guess we can just go into the ring too. And so they got a lot of drunks they're having to push back. Roll your hot tag, Coach.
Oh no, it's only a 6.
I'm gonna put it over, so that'll be a 7 and 9.
Okay, describe to me give me your pitch on that.
By God, McMahon, the children being exposed to a mutant from the ocean, and then the coach is taking advantage of the chaos. His hands touched. It looked like it was inches away, but that's just a camera angle, McMahon. He got him.
Awesome.
Tagged into that threat or menace. What is the equivalent of threat or menace that people say about Spider Hero?
I think that's it.
No, because that's copyright. Threat or menace.
Oh, yeah, that is right. That is copyrighted.
A danger or a risk.
Danger of risk. So it goes to a 7-9. So, Coach, you're going to give one of your momentum to Spider Hero, and Spider Hero is the new legal wrestler.
Okay.
Woo!
Spider
Does he
Hero.
get momentum, or do I hang on to it? I mean, control, or does he grab it?
That's a good question. I assume since you let him do the tag that you would have ceded control to him.
Okay.
Spider Hero. Yeah, the Kraken's huge.
Wow, he's so much bigger in person than his dummy was. Yeah, Spider Hero will sort of like bounce back and forth from foot to foot, like he's sort of shaking his shoulders, shaking his head, like I'm ready for this. We're gonna do this. And so he comes running in, and I think the first just sort of shove he tries to get into just ends with him like bouncing straight off of Kraken's belly and back into the ropes, and he sort of gets up for a second while Kraken's like to the audience. And so, okay, I'm gonna take a bounce off a couple of ropes back and forth, and then I'm gonna leap up into a kick to the chest, and okay, I got him like a step back. It's good. We're good, guys. This is going somewhere. And so as I run at him again, this time I'm gonna like slip through his legs, his open legs, because I think for this one he was coming down trying to grab me as I was coming in to do a crush, and I managed to slip under his legs and to the other side of the ring, where I like start working my way up the wall, like I'm sort of using the bounciness of the main ropes to get up to the cage. I'm climbing up it to one of these like ropes that's up there, like actual ropes up there, and I grab it and do a full swing down from the corner into the Kraken's back, like right between his shoulders.
Awesome. That sounds like Look. That's you going all Spider Hero off the cage, getting that together. That's the same wrestling move, but you're using Look for that swing down. Let's have you roll.
That is a 6.
You have some momentum.
I do, and I'm gonna bump that to the 7-9.
Okay. Now, do you want the momentum back?
Yeah, take it back and pass.
Okay. So why doesn't it look as good as you hoped?
So I go in like I'm convinced I pull off the move perfectly. Like my feet hit his shoulders. I do the sort of like backflipping tumble forward that I was planning on, and managed to just catch myself on the bungee cords so that it looks awesome, like I just bounced off him. And I look back to see him down on the ground, and this time he's taken 2 steps forward from that blow.
Kraken.
Yeah, I think I was intending to sell. It's just that it didn't hit me hard enough to know when. So my steps were late. And so I kind of turned around. Okay, I got to save this match. So I'm going to stalk in on him while he's rolling back up. And as I come in, Spider Hero takes a couple of quick shots to my gut. But I'm going to get down and get a hold of him. I'm going to pull him up to the backbreaker. Got him up on my shoulder. I'm doing the full. And Spider Hero is a pretty agile, limber guy, so we're getting a nice bounce on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the way down into a face power slam.
Ooh. I think that sounds like a power move. Let's have you roll.
That's 7, 8, 9. I'll spend momentum to go up to 10.
Okay. Do you want 2 momentum back, or do you want another heat with Spider Hero?
I want that other heat.
Does that take
it
you?
Ain't gonna help me right now, though.
Oh, so close.
I mean, I'm already at 4.
Oh, you're already at 4, so you should take that momentum.
Yeah, I'll take the mo.
Okay.
And I do not have to try very hard to sell the fuck out of this. That hurt a lot.
Oh, down.
And I'll lean in and say, "You all right, little buddy?"
It's good. I'm fine. It's great.
All right. I'm going to throw you up there. Why don't you grab a hold? And without waiting for an answer, I'm going to grab a hold of him and just launch him up towards the netting bit at the top of the cage, hoping he'll grab a hold of it.
Let's have you roll feat of strength.
I got the same thing. So 9. Let's see. I will automatically turn control back over to him, won't I, with a feat of strength?
Yes, you will.
Okay, then. Good. So I'll go ahead and put it up, use another momentum, and take it up to that. Shit, that's the same thing, though. But I'm still going to do it.
Okay.
I'll take it up to and take the momentum again. I'm slowly getting up momentum.
Oh, look at that. Haven't declared. Soon, though. Spider Hero, he throws you to the top of the cage, hanging on there. You did not expect it to go quite like that.
So yeah, I think he gives me like way more of a toss than I ever could have thought. I'm going for this sort of trapeze platform that's hanging from the top. Totally missed that. But as I'm sort of like hitting the top and slipping through the bungee cords that crisscross the top there, I do manage to grab one of them, and I manage to like stretch up and swing back down on that momentum that he threw me up with. And I'm going to come in, I think this time I'm aiming, like, again, feet down straight at him, but I'm aiming more like the back of his leg there rather than the shoulders, trying to get something on a joint. Maybe I could take him down.
Perfect. Roll look.
9.
9.
And I will go ahead and bump that.
Okay. Do you want heat or do you want momentum?
I want heat.
Okay. It's probably a good thing, because here's the thing, Spider Hero. You are not booked to win. You and the coach are not booked to win. It is supposed to be the Kraken pinning you to push you forward on your path to darkness, defeated by this villain here. So what do you make of that? What do you want to do? You want to let that go? You want to hand that over to Kraken to do his thing, or you want to do something else?
So yeah, I think I land this time, and you know, with the extra speed and force given to me by the Kraken himself, like I actually do manage to get a blow that he notices in time. He goes down on one knee and really sells it. I think he's probably like that definitely hurt on its own. And so Spider Hero finally, like, he's knocked him down. He does this like tour around the ring, like yeah. He gets over to the high school kids, and I think they've all like pulled out Spider Hero masks from their pockets. They put them on and they're like cheering. And he's totally oblivious to the foe that is just shadowing over him.
Kraken, you may roll your finishing move.
All right, we're gonna get to see the tidal wave. As he's standing there, I'm going to run over to him, hitting him so that he bounces into the ropes, so that when he comes back at me, it's a belly to back, full over suplex, which lands with me just on a squish on top of him. Hopefully not really squishing him. I'm trying to not really squish him.
Awesome.
But I'll roll for the tidal wave. Six, and I'm going to go ahead and spin 4.
Oh, so you hit your finisher clean. Ooh. You can choose whether you or your opponent gains +1 audience.
I'm here to help the team. Besides, I've got 4. Spider Hero, take an audience.
I've got 4 too.
Coach, though.
Oh, we both have 4.
You can then I'll definitely try to pry you off.
Okay, so the coach, your audience is going to go up by 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because probably what happens is you go in, Dark Wallaby comes in to like taunt this, and you can probably do that sort of after the bell suplex on Dark Wallaby, and
Yes.
the crowd is loving it. They're eating up because this is raucous. The ring was shaking. There'll be that sort of chase around the arena before they kind of get you out of there. Kraken celebrates. Spider Hero, what do we see from you?
Yeah, I think as Kraken gets up, like it's probably a trick of the light, but it's almost like he has been indented into the floor as Spider Hero like manages to crawl just barely to his hands and knees, which is right when the Wallaby is making one of his circuits around the ring. He Wallaby slips to the mat, and in between like Spider Hero's arms and legs as he's kneeling there, and Wallaby is like sliding on his grease slick of shoe polish, which of course goes all across the front of Spider Hero's costume and the legs of it, and it's everywhere.
Looks a little bit like venomous.
Don't lick that polish, Spider Hero. I've heard it's poisonous.
And so with the coach there warning, and as the lights sort of go out for the change, like Spider Hero's on the floor, just like head in hands, just sort of
surrounded by the Spider Master the kids threw off when you lost. Did broken ones by you there.
Dang.
So house lights will go down, and they'll clear the ring, and we will cut because we've got a big singles match here. We've got two relative newcomers to Gauntlet League Wrestling. You will see that the Exterminator, rather our new sort of GM, is back there, and he's saying to you, Tawni, saying your client better put on a good show because we don't only have room for one or two more people on the roster. So I'm cutting left and right.
I hear you, clear and certain, boss. I look up from my phone where I just check out. I think I'm checking out Spider Hero's Twitter, where it just says, "With great obligation, with great ability comes great obligation." And I'm just like, yeah, well, I got it, boss. We got this.
Okay. So it is going to be Dead Man Jim versus Outback Thunder. Dun, 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 dun. They've got that sound going there. So we're going to cut backstage. We're going to start with Outback Thunder. When we cut back to you, is it a video package, or do we see an interview with one of the backstage people, or what are we going to see from you?
I think it's an interview, and it's about Outback Thunder, and it looks like he's in sort of like it looks like sort of like a changing room type thing, and he's sort of like got a gross greasy looking towel strapped around his shoulders, and he's just sort of like sitting on this little bench thing instead of like sitting in a proper chair, and looking a bit old and haggard as the guy's asking him questions about his matchup with Jim. And so like, he may be a dead man, but he's going to be a dead man walking in the ring. I've been in this game a long, long time, and I've seen a lot of kids like him try and challenge, but when it comes down to it, they all fall to the Thunder.
And Victoria Onyx goes, well, what do you say about the rumors that Dead Man Jim has in fact died and returned from the dead?
Well, he might get back up, but he's definitely going down today.
All right. And you don't think the age disparity is gonna work against you?
Nah, like I know all the tricks. I've seen kids like Jim all my life. I think I've got this. He might be able to run circles around me, but eventually he's going to get hit with the Thunder.
Excellent. So I'll throw that back out to the front. Let's have you cut a promo. You're cutting on Dead Man Jim. Roll with your look.
That's just a straight up 2d6 roll. Here we go. All right, 2d6. So that is 2 and a 3, 5.
5. So what happens is that you will see the general manager, Mr. Terminator. He's been watching this. He's kind of looking, and you see him shake his head like, oh, no, we needed more heat. We needed more sizzle. That is not sizzle. And he's kind of looking. You see, he's kind of watching the thing, and everybody out in the auditorium, they were all still busy screaming and throwing beer, like your video didn't even. No one heard it.
Yep.
And Onyx is like, you might want to work on that.
Yeah, well,
for next time.
Thanks. I'll do my best.
Okay. And we'll cut from that package to Dead Man Jim. What is the promo package that we're going to see for you? Do you have your manager with you at this point, Dead Man?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so can we talk about how I discovered you?
Sure. I think
that'd be a good video package. Thunder. Also, you get to take an extra move as the veteran. You get the starting move, and you get to take another one.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Nice. So after the last time viewers saw me on the Gauntlet Roadshow was when I slapped the analyst and retired as his secretary for the second time. The first time was when he fired me. This was me betraying him because he couldn't roll high enough. But they see me driving home. We see me driving my greaser 1950s car, my hot rod, out of the arena down to a local graveyard, and it just starts raining. And what happens after that, Dead Man Jim? I want to give you that part.
All right. I think it is raining, it is lightning and thundering, and you are just like completely drenched. And they just see you shoveling, ka-chunk. They hear like metal hit stone. And you step back, and the fog machine that's underneath, of course, starts going off. So all this smoke is coming out of this hole in the ground. And then, of course, they got a prop. So I just come straight standing up in that old caretaker's outfit with all the makeup on.
He's alive! He's alive!
So it sounds to me like you guys are more kind of working the audience to get that general thrill up rather than cutting deliberately on your opponent, Outback Thunder.
Oh yeah. And it's just the camera zooms in on the eyes. It's like, I've come back from the dead to unleash hell.
All right, let's have you roll with your current audience.
One last part of the problem. We see the coffin that he was in, and it just says Outback on it. You're going down under.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
So you get to add your stipulation to the match, Tim, which I want.
Oh yes, it's going to be a coffin match.
A coffin match.
All right.
Yep.
It's gonna be
Like a casket match, but cheaper. It's not padded inside.
Yeah. Get some splinters.
I'm gonna roll plus. I think I have the higher audience. We get to roll the higher of the two.
Oh, please do.
That is a 7 plus 2. I'll spend the momentum on it.
Okay. So you get them on your side. Gain 2 momentum. Who gains the momentum there?
I think. Can we split it? It doesn't say if we can split it.
Yeah, well, I think splitting it makes sense for a manager team.
You take one.
Does that seem good, Jim?
Hey, I'm okay with that.
All right. So cut from that does kind of cut through the crowd because it's like, what the what? What was that? And maybe they're now actually kind of sitting down because they don't know what's going on. And somebody said, did they hire the Undertaker? No.
The sign said, "And Undertaker." And.
Now, Outback Thunder, let's hear about your entrance. What music hits? What do we see you do when you come in?
So it's pretty cut straight. Like it goes dark, and then you just hear like those distinct vocals from AC/DC. You've been thunderstruck, and then the music comes in and all the lights come up, and it's Outback Thunder sort of like walking in, pointing up, and sort of like pointing at someone in the crowd, and then just sort of like shaking his fist at them, and like someone throws a cup at him and it sort of like, hits him in the face and there's a bit of beer and he gets beer splashed on him. He picks the cup back and throws it back into the crowd and, just sort of like comes up to the edge of the cage and just sort of going at someone right in their face and like just making his way to the thing, trying to antagonize the crowd and just sort of, get in people's faces before he jumps up into the ring. And he probably he gets to the ring like he's about to do some kind of cool special acrobatic entrance and then just sort of like leans through and just sort of like rolls into the ring.
Perfect. Like you've done it 1,000 times before.
Yep. Like working the audience. That's some veteran stuff. Throw that beer back.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. That you can role work the audience with that. Maybe get a little of them on your side there.
Yeah, cool. Let's see. What is my audience?
I think you start at 2 as the veteran.
Sweet. Let's see here. Audience 2. Yeah, cool. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Now, I've got 2 rolls there. Do I hit clear to get rid of the rolls I've already made?
No, you don't hit clear, but you can select previous dice rolls and then hit delete selected. And you can hit any dice to clear them out of the way.
Cool. I see. All right, I'll do that so I know which I actually roll and delete selected. Cool. Yep. And then 2d6. Let's do it.
Let's see. Wow. With an audience of 2, that is nice 11. So you're going to get 2 momentum because they're cool with it. You're throwing beer back in their faces. They like it when somebody pushes back on their jackassery. You will throw that back, kind of get them excited about that. Get up into the ring. Dead Man Jim. When your music hits, what do we hear?
All right, the lights just go completely off. And then, it shows the background, with like thunder and lightning and the moon coming out from behind a cloud. And the spotlight and just the music is just this dark cathedral gothic tune. There's smoke coming everywhere. I'm going hardcore on it is like 2 steps stolen from Undertaker on this.
Okay.
But with that lift that I found, I, of course, told Tawni about it.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think what would be kind of cool is but because the coffin stipulation match, the coffin with me inside it is being lowered from the ceiling.
Coming down from the ceiling.
And I just point. All I do is point. And
spotlight on you, point, coming down. Smoke is rolling out from the coffin there, lowering down. Comes down. Does it lower down to the edge, or do you actually just lower down fully into the ring?
Oh, it puts me all the way into the ring. They got like a little opening up at the top of the cage for it.
Okay, comes down, push that. Tell me what this coffin looks like. Is it an ornate black, or is it just kind of pine wood box? What are we imagining?
It's sponsored by a local funeral home, which is how we're getting our cheap heat tonight.
Okay.
Reynolds family. We have some stuff around the ring, some like portraits of both wrestlers, and some ad supported kind of stuff, like flowers and that kind of stuff. We kind of went out for this one.
Okay. Got the Bub Funeral Chapel thing on the side of that. Okay. Do you want to take that cheap heat there?
Yeah, let's take that cheap heat.
Okay. And the cage is still there.
Oh, let's raise the cage.
Do you want the cage to be raised?
That from the Diamante tour.
Okay. That's getting up. Okay. So right now, what is your momentum, Outback Thunder, right now?
3.
And what is your momentum, Dead Man Jim?
And if I'm taking that cheap heat, it would have been 3 total. I had 2.
So
we got a tie on it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that Dead Man Jim has control at the start, just because of that crazy stunt he just pulled off. Now, who wants to do commentary for this match? Tyler, you want to take that?
I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Coach and Spider Hero, feel free to jump in, run in, do whatever you so desire. Outback Thunder's in the ring. Dead Man Jim, you've got that coffin off to the side. You have control of the match.
All right.
What happens?
Katie bar the door. It's Big Bob Buckland here, and I'm telling you, this one's gonna be a slobber knocker.
And I think at that word, I just like bolt forward and just get a solid hit on it. Like it is I am going for him because I'm running off that crowd reaction.
Just coming in and doing that physical strength, that hard style hit on him.
Oh yeah, I like run forward and I grab him and I like throw him into one set of what is the word for the wires?
Ropes or turnbuckle?
Into the ropes. Into the ropes, throw into the other rope, and then just, clothesline right into the middle of the mat. Ah.
All right, let's have you roll power.
All right. So that is a +1, so let us roll.
And Outback Thunder, I'm just going to say, let me pause here. Don't forget, you can always interrupt whenever you want to take control of the match.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jim, what'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Okay. So you got a choice. You can keep control, or you can hand control over to Thunder and get another momentum.
All right, I'll go ahead and let him respond and take the extra momentum just to let him get some spotlight in before I crush him.
Yeah, nice. All right, yeah. So
you
close hanger me, and sort of like Thunder sort of like gets on his hands and knees and he's sort of shaking it off, and he sort of gets up. And he like grabs you by your arm and your shoulder, and he does a thing where he throws you into the ropes to sort of like bounce you off it so that he can try and close hanger you back. But it turns into one of those things where sort of like he goes to grab you, but he's old and slow, and you just duck under him and bounce off the ropes, and he turns around to grab you again. And this happens like 6 or 7 times, like way too many times of you just sort of like ducking under him. And before
they're going to the well so far that it's dry.
Yep. And I'm gonna go with put over, which is when I show vulnerability to an opponent in the ring in order to make them look good. Roll plus work. So yeah, I'm trying to do sort of like Outback Thunder. He's old and slow. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up with this young dead Jim.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Roll my work. All right, let's get rid of that and that and. There we go. Ooh, nice. That's very low. But my work is probably my best stat. Let's see here. So it's still too low.
What do you got?
That is a 1 and a 4 for 5 plus 1, so 6.
Okay, now you got momentum.
Yeah, all right. I will spend a momentum and take it up to a 7.
Okay, so at that point, one of you gains +1 audience and the other loses an audience. But Jim gets to pick.
Oh. I think I've just milked it way too damn hard with the running and running and running. And they can see. And so I think it's just like everyone's kind of like, just knock him down. Just knock him down. And so Outback's going up to 3, and I'm dropping to 0, which is not where I want to be.
But you get an advance.
Yes, you get an advance when you hit 0.
Oh.
Oh, really?
You just don't want to. You just don't want to end the show at 0.
All right.
All this is happening, and the coach walks up to the announcer's bench. He's kind of patting his brow with a towel, and he says,
"Oh,
hey,
we're being
Bob.
joined here by a true aficionado of the beautiful art. It's Coach."
Hey, Bob. Big fan of your work. I just came to sit a spell and keep an eye on these people, make sure they're not pulling anything that they ought not to be.
You're a titan of true good sportsmanship.
And so you've gained that audience there, Thunder. It's kind of worked, but you have handed control over to Dead Man Jim. Dead Man Jim, wow, you gotta pull it out. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I think at one point he just finally just stops playing around with it and just kind of knocks me into the rope and has pinned me against them. And he's kind of whispering like, "Hey man, you can't play. You got to work the audience." Passing down a little nudge, like, "Oh yeah." And I just grab him and I'm gonna use my advance to go ahead and bump up my power by 1.
Okay.
So I'm going all in on that.
Did you take the 2 momentum for entering a coffin match?
No, I don't think I did. I think I forgot about that completely.
Good manager looks out for things like that.
Yeah. Yes, they do. And I think I just grab you and I've got you. I just pick you up by the shoulders and I am holding you over my head, presenting you to the audience before.
I gotta hold the coffin open outside the ring.
Yes, and I am just throwing you into the coffin.
Okay.
Which.
So this is a feat of strength, I think. This is you trying to demonstrate your strength. He's not going to go in. This is not quite time yet, but
the coffin's going to break, which will technically you have to close the lid, and this thing's going to shatter if it goes correctly. We got to.
Let's see
That's
it.
press worthy of the great Gorilla Monsoon.
God.
Will you stop?
All right. That is a 10.
10. So you can either gain 2 momentum or impress your opponent and gain a heat with them.
I think he's just, I'm going to kind of shockingly impress him. Just like, all right, no more messing around. Grab, throw into the coffin. It slams into like the little fence they've got sectioning off the audience and just shatters completely, letting him slump on the ground. But I do want that heat.
And so, yeah, you'll get 1 more heat with Outback Thunder. And
Lowell?
yes,
I'd like to interrupt.
Absolutely.
I want to do a run in here, right at sort of the big hit and the heat that Dead Man Jim's there getting, so to sort of undercut him.
Okay. Spend a momentum, and we get to do the run in move here. Tell me what you're doing.
So what I'm doing is from out of the wings where we've been coming in, like you hear like the screech of the Wallaby, like Dark Wallaby, running down the aisle as Spider Hero is chasing after him and like dives at him and grabs him, and Wallaby just sort of like oil shoots up out of his hands, and they like chase each other through the audience until they go under one of the bleachers. And just when everybody's like, what was that? Is that over? Then there's like a screech from Spider Hero, and Spider Hero comes running out from under the bleachers and around the ring as Wallaby is like chasing him with a didgeridoo that he's grabbed from under the bleachers there. It's like beating him and just grabbing as much spotlight as I can before the refs like turn and start to do something, and then the 2 of us run out.
Roll. So who do you think you're kind of interrupting here more? Is it Dead Man Jim or Outback Thunder?
I think I'm trying to undercut Dead Man Jim's big moment.
Okay. So roll your heat with Dead Man Jim.
All right. Oop, that's not good. +1, so that's 6, 7.
Okay.
I can't quite get it to a 10, so 7.
Okay, so you're going to get a momentum. And Dead Man Jim, you get to pick one of the results. It's on the basic moves tab under run in. You can see there the top thing in the second column.
And to be clear, in those, you means Spider Hero, and them means Dead Man Jim.
Oh, you took your momentum, Spider Hero?
Yep.
Yes.
I always forget to when I make a run in.
All right, so I think what I'm gonna take is let's see.
2 or 3 makes sense. The first one doesn't because he didn't touch you.
Yeah.
It's a no DQ match, I think.
I think I'm going to be coming after you for interfering with this business. So we're going to have words after this, which you're already terrified of me backstage. So that's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
You're picturing what's going to happen when he gets back there. Outback Thunder, you have an opening here. This Spider Hero is giving you the distraction you need, and you have control of the match. What are you going to do?
As a Spider Hero is getting chased out by Dark Wallaby, I want to grab the didgeridoo off of Dark Wallaby.
Yes.
And so now I'm armed. And I'm sort of like, roll into the ring while, there's like this little moment. And I just want to smash this didgeridoo over Dead Man Jim's head or shoulder or whatever,
It's just kind of a special effect thing, or you really want to kind of hit him hard with this weapon?
No, I just want it to be for show. I definitely don't want to injure the athlete.
Okay, let's go ahead and have you roll look.
Look, alrighty. Okay.
Trying to sell this didgeridoo breakage.
Okay, here we go. 2d6. Submit. There we go. A 3 and a 5, so 8, and my look is 0, I believe. So it is just a straight 8.
Straight 8. You can spend momentum, bump it up, or you can go with that.
Let's see. Let's see. What's the
10 result can get you 2 momentum back, or it can increase your heat with him by 1.
If you get up to 4, if you're in the match with him with 4 heat, even if you lose, you're going to gain the top spot in the promotion and a new move.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I will spend the 2 momentum, and I'll get 1 heat with Deadman Jim.
Okay, so what does that take your heat with him to?
That's a 3.
Okay, so you're pretty close.
Yep.
And you still have control of the match.
Yeah, cool. So.
Oh, no, yeah, but on a 10. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. So, yeah, after I smash it over his head and he's sort of like doing the, I'm stunned wobble, I just to let you know, grab him around the chest, just under the arms, and
interrupt
grab
him.
Yep.
Tawni.
Yep. So he smashes him with the didgeridoo. He's gloating. I get up on the ringside and I whisper in his ear, and I'm pointing and gesticulating that the only coffin left is right up in the diamond stage with the mine carts and the ore and all that other stuff. And he's going to have to think of a way to get that over to here. This is sort of a kayfabe, me telling him this, and also, me just getting over the fact that, I'm paying attention here. But I'm completely not interacting with the spider thing because I looked around. What was I going to do? Hit him with the guest book? Hit him with a gravestone that says Thunder's name on it? Yep. But I can't point out that this match has to progress, and it's going to have to do so right on that stage.
Okay, so this just seems like fiction rather than us doing a move.
I'm trying to work the audience here.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that seems good. Let's have you roll.
Let's do it. That is a 8, and my audience is 2, so that is a 10.
Okay.
And it's my much-needed momentum.
All right. You work the audience. Outback Thunder, there's kind of a pause while that goes on, but you still have control of the match. And?
All right. So I think, while I've got him pinned, I sort of I'm looking around at the audience and I'm pointing up at the stage where the other coffin is, and sort of going it's as if to say to the audience, am I going to drag this fool up to the thing, or are we just going to keep fighting?
Ooh.
I'm trying to read the audience and see what they want. Is that a work the audience?
Yeah, I'll let you work the audience there.
Nice. All right, let's do it. As well. And there we go. 3 and a 4, so 7, and work the audience is look.
No, it's audience. You're at
with
3.
Audience.
Oh, nice, cool. In that case, it is a 10.
Okay, so I'm going to say, you get the audience, they're excited by this, and you see drunk guys running up and grabbing that coffin, and they're running down the stairs. It is so dangerous.
I thought we were going to go up there and smash Lady Gaga's stage.
Oh, they're bringing it down here. They want to see it. They are dragging it down here. Legal is desperately trying to figure out what their liability is for this, especially because they've got it on tape now. Broadcast you guys vandalizing Lady Gaga's materials, and so they've dragged the coffin down those stairs, splashed with beer and suds and so on. But Deadman Jim. He's kind of called out, and as it's going on, you get the initiative here. Deadman Jim, what do you want to do?
All right. So he's hit me with this didgeridoo. He is and I am just kind of pissed from Spider Hero. So I think he's just distracted. He's only got one arm on me. And at that point, I just like lift up, and he's still holding on to me, and I'm kind of seeing red right now. I'm not used to this kind of match, and now it's just the anger's grabbing a hold of me.
Are you working? Are you working stiff? Are you actually maybe trying to do legit harm?
Yeah, I've got a move that's called shoot kill.
All right.
And I am really like, it's like I am just slamming him into the turnbuckle to get him off my back. Not really realizing, how painful that's going to be. Or maybe I do realize it and I just don't care at the moment. I'm just kind of pissed.
Roll with real.
All right. That is a 4 total with real. That makes it a give me a second, pull up my sheet.
3.
Oh, my real is -1.
Yeah.
So that's 3 total.
I hope the commentary can put that over. Otherwise, it's going to get one audience, which isn't a thing.
Well, or you have 6 momentum.
Yes, I do. Maybe
6 momentum. Yeah.
So
what do you
burn? So I'm probably going to burn the 4 momentum to bring that up to a 7.
Okay. So it doesn't. You hit him hard. Outback, you go right in that turnbuckle. So right now, Deadman, you're going to gain another heat with Outback.
Nice.
Nice. That puts me at a 4.
Okay. Now they get to pick. Outback. Does someone get injured? Does Deadman Jim lose all his momentum? Or is Deadman Jim going to get disciplined backstage?
Let's see here. I think Jim's going to lose all his momentum.
So, Jim, you're kind of a little shaken by that. And here's the thing. Outback, you have control of the match. And this guy just legit tried to throw you into the turnbuckle. You could tell it was not cool. But here's the thing. Deadman Jim is booked to win.
Ooh.
Oh.
So here's the question. You want to let that go? You want to play well with others? Or you want to maybe break kayfabe? You want to go to try and go for that pin?
The coach may not give you that chance.
I think. How much momentum do you have?
I have like 1 momentum.
Oh.
Yeah. I definitely want to play it out as it's meant to. So I think like I'm shaken from being slammed into the thing, and am I actually injured, or I just know that he was trying to actually injure me?
He was trying to legit injure you.
Cool. So I sort of like, I'm hamming it up, like, sort of like, oh man, I'm all messed up. But I sort of like give him a look and like a bit of a shake of my head. And, but then sort of like, I sort of stumble forward and I go for like a lunge at him, like I'm going to try and throw him through the ropes, but sort of like end up falling through the ropes myself. And I'm out of the ring down where the coffin is. So like, just acting all dazed and confused and giving him the opening to try and finish it off and put me in there. And I want to put over again, which is show vulnerability and set them up to make them look good.
Perfect. Roll that, and then Jim's going to get to roll his finisher unless something else happens.
I was going to do the meal ticket move so that Jim doesn't have to use a huge slam on someone he was beating the shit out of.
Okay, let's resolve Outback's roll first.
Yep. Submit. Oh, that's low. 1 and a 3, 4 plus my work, which is 1, so it's still only a 5. Even if I spend my 1 momentum, it's only going to go up to a 6.
So the announcers can put it over. Did they do that last time? No.
Nope.
I haven't yet.
What do you think, Tyler?
It's a terrible shame to see a man past his prime trying to get out there, Coach. Oh. Sorry, Coach.
That's good.
So that'll take you to 7 to 9 on that result. Outback, what does that get you?
Let's see here. On a 7 and 9, one of you gains +1 audience and the other one loses -1 audience. But it's up to Jim to choose.
Oh, this is tough because I'm sitting at 0 audience right now.
You can't go below 0.
Oh, so I have to choose the -1 to him, huh?
No, you could. Literally, if you took the -1, you'd still stay at 0.
Okay.
But I'd just go up to 4.
Yeah. I don't know. This is tough because I could take it to save my ass, but I feel like the crowd has already moved to Outback's side, and they are just like wanting him to win. Because like they pulled that coffin down, they are drunk. You know, he's been working them, and I've been Dead Man Jim's been like trying to focus on like, all right, I've got to do exactly what I was told, and he's lost already. I think I'm giving it to Outback. I think you're getting the +1.
Okay.
Nice.
Even as that's going on, we're going to come to your finisher in a second. Tawni, you were going to do your meal ticket move?
Absolutely. So what I'm trying to do is just maneuver you so that I get the other coffin and I get the, what's your finisher, Dead Man Jim?
What's it going to call?
I think the finisher is the burned and buried. And like basically I slam him in the coffin and like I pull out nail, like I slam him into the coffin, it slams shut, and then like the dry ice and there starts spitting out smoke.
Okay, so your default finisher is the slam?
Yeah.
Slam.
Okay.
I just kind of direct the fans to roll the coffin directly into the ring, and one of them throws out back into the ring, and I'm just going to try and put it so Dead Man Jim can finish up the match.
Okay.
I don't want to get too involved in this. If the Lady Gaga thing goes on or the Spider-Man thing goes on. That is a 6. I'm going to spend momentum on it.
Okay.
On a 7 to 9, the ref notices your attempt. Choose. Your client uses a distraction to get the win, or you interfere, but the opponent still wins. You gain +1 heat with your client.
Right now, your client is booked to win.
I think that what honesty demands is that this match is such a fuck up, and the fact that the new guy has gained 2 audience means he should pull this up one. So I slide it into the ring, but the person puts it in the wrong spot. So.
All right. Here's what we've got. It's in the wrong spot. You've kind of interfered the ref. Are you saying the ref is going to see this interference?
Yeah, the ref is going to be out of position. I think it's not a DQ match. The rules assume this is a DQ match, but
right. So the question is, are you changing the booking?
Yeah, I'm changing the booking.
Okay. It gets pushed out of the way. The ref is gonna look at that. He's gonna see that going on. He's gonna come over to you, and Jim. Even as you're starting to go for it, you see the ref points to your manager, points to the interference that she was doing, and does this and disqualifies you.
Oh, I had a different way that it could also embarrass us if you're up for that little.
Okay.
Because the ref is going over to me, he's arguing with me. I tell him it's a no DQ match. You come over to me, and then Thunder sees you in position and decides, I should win this match. I've been trying to put him over so much, and nothing is happening, and you just try and save the match by slamming him into the coffin? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. And like when I come in to like slam you into the coffin, and I said like I get you, and I said like you've messed around too much. You should have just nailed it in there. And yeah, I just do the quick boom, like do like a backward slam to knock you in the coffin, and then roll over and just slam the lid shut and just like lie on top of it.
Let's hope you hit your finisher.
All right. Hit your finisher. Let's see here. You roll straight 2d6. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck.
Good luck. The ref can't put the commentary already put you over before, so that's not in the cards.
All right. A 4 and a 6, so that is a 10.
Awesome. You hit
Bravo.
it clean. Do you or your opponent gain an audience?
Have me gain the audience.
I'm already at 4, so my opponent gains the audience.
So you literally just saved Dead Man Jim from getting fired.
He was going to level up because he has 4 heat.
Yeah. So it's awesome. The crowd is digging that. They're all over the place. They're probably pushing in on the stuff. And while we would have another match booked, we are short on time. So I am going to have to do that things. But let's get a final thing with that happening. An immediate aftermath of that. What's your reaction, Outback Thunder? This is wow! Look at that. They're loving you.
Yeah, and I'm probably sort of like, doing the lap around the ring, getting up on the ropes to sort of like, point up. And so like the announcer comes in to call the match, but I just grab the microphone off him and I'm sort of like, storming around the ring and go, Jim thought he had me. He was trying everything he had, but he just didn't have the game. And at the end, he got thunderstruck. And then, they bring in the cue, the music, and it just sort of like do as, I'm sort of like celebrating and they're taking the coffin out. And, then I just sort of like do my final lap and then head out myself.
So he's on the thing, pulling the coffin out. Jim, what's the last we see from you?
Oh, I think the last thing we see is like we get to they get him out of the coffin and he's like going back to the green room that Tawni booked for him. Mm-hmm. And, Eradicator is in there and just looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing in here? This is my room. And he's wearing that nice plush bathrobe.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Tawni, what do we see from you?
I was given me leaving a manager contract outside Outback Liam's door. For me to raise his hand. But now I got a hot gimmick here. And I don't look good in this much rouge anyway, so.
Perfect.
Would be fine.
Spider Hero, what do we see from you?
So it's a shot of like the bowels of this arena, and Spider Hero is standing there in like just his mask and his boots and a pair of like heart boxers, and he's standing in front of these like industrial washing machines. And even though like his thing with Wallaby was maybe 5 minutes ago, he is pulling his costume out of the dryer, and it's like shrunk and warped, and there's still huge black streaks across it, and he just and screams with rage as he goes over and like picks up the industrial dryer and crushes it over into the wall of the ground next there. He's just there like panting and
Coach walks in next to you and says, "Oh wow, you seem really angry there, Spider Hero. I bet it was something to do with that match with Outback Thunder. Ooh, he's a real disgrace to the sport. And you know what? I think if we team up together, like the good old days, we could steal back his thunder, and we could bring you back to the top."
Spider Hero, what do you think of the coach? You gonna put up with that? You gonna accept that, or are you gonna slap the hand?
I think he slaps the hand away from you, turns his back on you, and like kicks the wreckage of the industrial dryer as he goes by.
Wow,
Coach,
his attitude is really toxic.
and our last cut, speaking of toxic, deadly, dangerous, Kraken, you have the sort of the epilogue shot of the match for tonight. What do we see of you?
I think we're going to see, we've always seen Kraken be this monstrous thing. This one's going to be us. This is going to be off screen or off camera.
Off camera.
And you got Kraken kind of leaning over, and there's he's talking to Terminator, and Terminator goes, "Telling you, it's time for you to be a face." Kraken goes, "Oh, no, boss, no."
No, seriously, we've got a lot of big guys on the heel side, and Skunk Ape's not handling it. We need another big guy to be a face.
But I like scaring people.
Will you just think about it?
Anything you say, boss.
Yeah, you're a good guy. You know, you do what you are told, and you get paid. So
The
keep
Kraken,
that up.
defender of the children.
It's like Gamera. And that's going to be it for the show. The title credits come up for the copyright Gauntlet League Wrestling, 2017, and that is it. I paced that badly. I'm going to apologize right now. I wish I had done it so we could have gotten another match in there, so we could have gotten some more time. I apologize for that, but I loved all the characters today.
I had a ton of fun.
Oh,
That was
man.
awesome.
Thank you for being my first.
I love Dead Man Jim. I love that Undertaker, homage, and actually really I love the veteran. I think the veteran's a great thing, and he played that to a T.
I liked it too because like I've been sort of like sickly sweet heroic with Spider Hero, and I like the opportunity to get into like a feud with someone over frivolous stuff.
Yeah. And of course, Tawni, great manager, flipping around. I think you've done face, heel, face during the course of these two.
I stayed heel, but I betrayed. No, yeah, I went from face to heel the first time, then went heel. And this time, yeah, I switched twice between sessions. It's insane.
That's great. That is
Pickle
great.
girl that, Tony.
Yeah.
And then I start my questions, my background questions with, I don't know, I trust you implicitly.
Yeah.
You guys were great announcers, by the way. That was awesome.
Nice to hear, man.
I wish. Go ahead.
The coach was amazing. I was sad every moment I wasn't the coach.
Yeah.
So the coach is actually based on a friend of mine who does amateur wrestling.
Oh, really?
And that's his
awesome.
gimmick. So I just borrowed from that. He'd probably do it a lot more funny.
Oh,
he
but
kind of
that's
uses
great.
a voice like this the whole time, and I was like, I don't think I can keep that up for 3 hours. So this is all an homage to him. So,
Farrell, you were going to say?
Oh, I'm just sad I didn't get in the commentary because I just wanted to throw in a, by God, he's gone through the Spanish announcers table. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
With God as my witness, that coffin is broken in half.
Good stuff. Thank you, everybody. I don't know if anybody has more Gauntlet League, Gauntlet Con games. I am done.
Got one more.
Nail, Nick.
My voice is about shot. I drank a lot of tea with honey before coming into this, but I had a great time. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. So
this
good.
con's been wonderful.
I love
awesome.
this game. It's so dumb. It's so much fun.
It's great.
Just adore it. All right, guys. Everybody, I'm going to stop the broadcast. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Lowell.
Thank you, Lowell.